everyone, Erum here for Altenew. Welcome to Creative Coloring with Erum. Today my project features the Bergenia Builder stamp set, and I am sharing 2 more cards on the blog featuring the same stamp set, so don't forget to check them out as well. So the stamp set features this big floral bunch on a stamp and single flowers and leaves to build your bunch to make it fuller or use them separately. I'm using the larger watercolor paper pad by Altenew and the Obsidian Pigment Ink to stamp the largest image a couple of times and the single flowers and leaves several times for all the 3 cards that I will be making. Since this is a textured cardstock, I'm going to use my stamp positioner and stamp this image a couple of times to get a crisp outline. Once done, I'll heat set it. I'll cut out one of the images from the stamped page and I'll use crimson watercolor from the 36 band watercolor set and apply it on the tip of the flower, bringing it down towards the mid of the petal. The second color I'll use is the warm sunshine, and this I'll apply from the base up and meet where the crimson watercolor is. You can make this coloring process a tad faster if you heat emboss the image with clear embossing powder after stamping it with obsidian ink. I will go back in to add a second layer of pigment to make it darker. This is easy and therapeutic watercoloring, so I'm not going to be focusing on shadows or my florals to look realistic. We are just coloring on 2-tone shaded florals that will look good once they are complete. I am, however, going to keep the underside of the petals quite light so that there is a difference between both the sides and some variation when you look at the whole branch or bunch. Though I promised myself I won't overwork the image, but I think a little stippling won't harm anyone and isn't a lot of work, right? Just to add a bit of interest. I'll take this brush. I think it's a number 1 brush. It is so old that the number is not visible anymore. Sorry, but take any thin brush since the petals are not so large, they're quite small, and add a bit of stippling for interest. This is totally up to you. If you do not want to add stippling, it's alright. We're going to be doing a lot of work on the background, so it's really not necessary to add a lot of work on the petals as well. Also, you will notice that sometimes I apply yellow on the center and sometimes for the underside of the petals I am applying yellow at the tips. This is completely up to you. I'm only doing this because I thought it looked better. I know a lot of people go for realism, but I am sure you know by now that I'm not that person. I do what looks pleasing to the eye in that moment or for that project. So you will see me color blue and yellow flowers with weird dots or stippling, and it's very rare that I go towards realism. I love JC's colored pieces. They are flawless and he's so awesome. You should definitely check out his work, and his teaching methods are also very impressive. For the leaves, I'll start by adding water to the area and then applying citrus burst as a base color. This is a yellow color. Next, I'll apply bamboo watercolor on the center of the leaf as stippling. Third color I'll use is forest glades, and again I'll apply as stippling. There's a curl on the leaf on the right, so you'll notice I'll pay special attention to that. I forget sometimes while painting that this was supposed to be just add color and enjoy the process, not to overwork it by adding details. The last color I'll add is evergreen, and this is the darkest green we have here, and this will create depth. Also, the leaves are still wet, Boy, this cardstock can hold a lot of water. This is from the 9 by 12 paper pad, by the way. I did mention this before. So the paint is going to diffuse and bloom. I might have to go back in to add more stippling using the evergreen watercolor to make it more prominent. You can use your heat gun to dry between layers if you want to. For the card front, I will add a color wash of forest glades by first applying water to the panel to the left side of the panel. That is where I want the bunch or the branch to come off from. I love this green, this forest glades, and I love this cardstock. This one is from the A2 loose sheets of the watercolor cardstock. I can't say it enough times, but I absolutely love both the watercolor cardstock introduced by Altenew. I'm going to try the watercoloring by smooshing technique on these. The next time, I think the result is going to be incredible. I'm going to add splatters of the same forest glades after drying the panel. I have die cut the garden trellis cover die in white, and I will use the forest glades and evergreen watercolors from the 36 band watercolor set to color this for a shaded rustic look. After this, I'll go over the die cut with moss watercolor brush marker for a deeper green and a more rustic look. The watercolor brush markers are highly pigmented, and this is why I chose to go with the watercolor brush marker. I have dried my die cut and have pieces all in front of me now that are going to be combined and form into the complete card. Now I'm going to snip off some of this die cut and use it on another card. You will find it on the Altenew blog. Right now I have an image, this idea in my mind. I hope that after cutting this up it doesn't end up looking bad. I do this a lot in my mixed media work, but then there's already so much going on in mixed media that you get away with it, if you know what I mean. Okay, so now I'll use my awesome glue tape by Altenew to adhere the grid, the die cut I mean. I just needed to align from the top there and snip off the excess from the side. Now to adhere the image, I noticed the white portions on my image. I'll use the leftover green on my palette and color in those white bits. You don't have to be very particular about covering all the white bits, just cover the main larger portions. It's now that I thought I needed black splatters. It still hasn't hit me that I have not stamped the sentiment or colored the flower centers. I will use a 0.8 tip black permanent pen and go over the flower centers. You can even add a tiny white dot with a gel pen if you want to. I have not done that, but I should have done that. It would have added a little bit of interest to the flower centers. If you want, you can even define the outline. I will do it in some areas, not the entire image. I will now adhere the image with foam tape. Since the image was stamped on the 9 by 12 watercolor cardstock, which is a sturdy cardstock, I don't need a lot of foam tape. The die cut is quite sturdy. And just to fill in the gap, I'll add the excess snipped off leaf at the top. You can add more flowers and leaves to this bunch, since we have single leaves and flowers in this set, and this is a builder set, so you can build this bunch into a floral vine, and which is flowing along the trellis there. Now I'll just stamp the sentiment, and thankfully it fits. We have some great sentiments in this one. My card is ready. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to check out the blog for more inspiration. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye!